Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each life path number, the forecast for the upcoming full moon that's occurring on August 9th, 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general reading. If you would like your own personal numerology reading where we'll take a deep dive into your own numbers, please book some time with me. My information's in the description box below. I'd love to work with you. All right, timestamps are provided in the description box. Let's get started. Life path number 1. So you guys are going to be working with the vibration of the 27-9 for this illumination. And this is an interesting energy because it could bring in some closures, some things coming to culmination. This is also a full moon, so that's very much aligned. So you could see some things you're tying up the loose ends. You are focused on getting things completed and off your plate. That's very possible at this time. Sort of getting rid of what's no longer working, what's maybe standing in your way, or finding a way to start to release that in some way. You could see some divine intervention at this time where, the cosmic intervention of coming in and removing what is sort of impeding your personal evolution forward. That can be a relationship, a job, some kind of situation that is not serving you. And maybe you haven't had the courage up to this point to make the necessary change in that situation. That's very possible. And you could see sort of around this full moon, that start to happen just naturally. Like the contract is complete. You've served you've learned the lesson, you've served whatever it is you need to serve in that situation. And that could be coming to a close. Now, it's not just about endings and completions around this time. You could also be getting big ideas, massive inspirations that are helping you to see the next leg of the journey, the next steps, right? And so this is a great time to start to plan, start to come up with your strategy for, what's next, what's your next step, what's your next, who do you need to call in to help you to make it happen? What does your support team look like? Where is it that you have some limitations that you can call in people to help you? You're not meant to do it alone, and this full moon will remind you of that. It'll help you to get on track as far as feeling most aligned with the destination you really truly want to be reaching. But it's also going to show you that you need to be vulnerable. You need to ask for help. You need to bring in the people who can help you to achieve what it is you're looking to achieve. The more that you can do that, then this can be an opportunity for a big, fresh new start that will really open you up to that success, that those achievements that you've been looking for, that you've been sort of striving for, especially as a 1. So beautiful, beautiful energy here. The key is to remember, don't cling on to or try to hold on to too tightly to what needs to fall away now, and be vulnerable, be open to receiving the support, be open to asking for what you need, and then receiving that graciously. And if you can do that, and I know you can, you'll get so much out of this energy, along with those big ideas and inspirations that you as a 1 can turn into reality. Beautiful energy. Hope it's a great one. Take care, ones. Bye for now. Life path number 2. So you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 28-1. And this is kind of that energy where anything can happen. It's sort of like the outcome rests solely in your hands and your decisions. No pressure, but it's that kind of energy. So surprising, unusual events can occur at this time that can kind of push you to make decisions, to decide the direction you want to move in. And because you're working with this 8 energy, it will likely be focused on career, how you make your money, how you spend your money, what you do with your money, how you invest it. It can also be around clients or, again, people who come to you for your expertise in some way, or you becoming the expert in some way. So for some of you, you could be going back to school or taking a workshop or some kind of course of study that can help you to sort of refine your craft in some way, and then find ways to share that with others. Beautiful energy here, though, for pushing you, motivating you, getting you started. You have to take the first step, of course. The one energy is strong here. So this is all about you. This is about you, of course, deciding what you want and then deciding how to move in the direction to achieve that. However, you also have the vibration of the 2. So there's definitely collaboration, working with others, coming together. Business partnerships would be very supported at this time and could bring a lot of success. So if you're going into some kind of business with someone or you're collaborating with them to some degree, that can prove to be very successful in the future. Just be careful of competition or that opposition where people don't want to see you be successful. Use your good judgment. And if it feels like someone is in your corner and they have your best interest at heart, be curious, explore, and maybe bring them on as some kind of a business partner. And what the 2 of you can create could be very successful and could lead you down a really prosperous path. I would say don't be too impulsive at this time. Use your good judgment, do your due diligence, make sure you're doing the research to not only into whatever it is that you want to create or to do or to put your energy towards, but just make sure you're also kind of doing your own due diligence when it comes to the people that you are, signing a contract with or committing to for the long haul, because you want to make sure that you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, but you're doing it because it feels right, that they have something they can contribute, and the 2 of you can work together in a beautiful way. This is a great energy for getting started. And this is odd because we're in a full moon, so a lot of times there's a lot of closure here. But for you all, it's about having the plan, but not only that, getting started, initiating, getting motivated, letting that fire sort of drive you towards achieving whatever this greater goal is. And again, around work, career, money, how you contribute in the world. It can also be philanthropy, etc. But it's a very motivated type of energy. But take your time, do your due diligence. Something is done. You've done what you need to do with it, and you're moving forward. So you're kind of looking in a new direction, ready to, take on that next leg of the journey, whatever that may hold for you. Beautiful energy here, but it's definitely a lot of leadership energy. So it's going to push you to take the lead in your own life at this time. I will also say quickly that this is also an energy where your achievements you could have an opportunity to share that with others in some way where it can really help others in some way. So pay attention to that if that comes up for you specifically, because this is a powerful, potent period to do that. And you can make a big difference in a lot of lives. Hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now. Life path number 3, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 2911-2. And so there is master level energy here. And the beautiful thing about this energy is that it often will bring tremendous rewards after sort of the obstacles are overcome, because it can also bring in some challenges. And those challenges can feel a little overwhelming when you're moving through them. But once you're through them, you can look back and see okay, I needed to go through that so that I would have a greater understanding of this situation or, this creative project or whatever. It's kind of like you couldn't unlock the wisdom without sort of traversing the challenge that was sort of handed to you with this energy. But not only that, this energy helps us to sort of get very clear on, what it is that we want and what inspires us, and what is sort of draining us, what's taking our inspiration away, and what we need to do to modify that in some way. Because ultimately, change doesn't happen without us. So this energy can show you where your soul is kind of pushing you to invest your energy more, and where your soul is saying, okay, this is done. We don't need to go here anymore. We don't need to put as much time and energy into this, whatever this may be. And now it's your responsibility to figure out how to maneuver and move in the other direction. But if you can do that, and of course you can, then the rewards are great with this energy. It can bring in a lot of, again, not only inspirations and ideas, but it can bring in the people, places, and things that can help you to make it happen. It's kind of that idea that, when we fully commit to something, when we fully say yes, and all are on board, then the universe can conspire to, make it happen. By sending in the people, places, and things that are needed in order to get the most out of the situation, whatever that might be. I would say definitely be open to new ideas at this time. Be willing to accept the help that you might need at this time in order to make it happen. You're not meant to do it alone. So the great time for collaborating, for sharing ideas, brainstorming, etc. This is a time where I would say watch for those opportunities. Don't be too quick to dismiss something because it doesn't have the same packaging that you had expected it would have. Be open, right? Might not fit exactly what you were hoping for. It might not fit that mold, but it can be tremendously helpful and rewarding all the same. You could have some trouble making decisions at this time. And so I would say don't be too impulsive. Take your time, move through what the information that you have available to you, and follow your gut, follow your intuition and that inner knowing. Marry those two, right? Marry the two. Bring in the information, but also stay true to what you feel about the situation. And that's going to help you to make the decisions you need to make. And in some situations, you might not have all the information yet. You might not have, like, all the pieces of the puzzle might not be available to you yet. And so you just need to keep kind of moving forward and surveying the landscape, and you'll pick up what you need to pick up to make the decision. If you find yourself at a crossroads at this time, the easiest way to decide what to do is to ask yourself, does this inspire me? Does it light me up? Does it fill me up? Or does it drain me? Does it take my inspiration away? And I would say make the decision that moves you in the direction of that inspiration, of the thing that fills you up, that makes you feel good, that makes you feel happy and joy and all of the things. And you might not be able to move away from what takes your inspiration away overnight, but you can start to move in that direction, right? You can start to move away from that thing, even if it takes years to fully, release whatever that is. This can be the start of that journey. So beautiful energy here. Very, very rewarding cycle. But of course, you have to do the work to get the rewards. Hope it's a great one. Life path number 4. So you're going to be working with the vibration of the 333. So this brings in the energy of things coming to completion, work being completed, something you've been putting your energy into that has felt like you're never going to see the finish line. You're finally coming over that finish line and you're receiving the rewards and the accolades. And it's a time for celebration. This is a time to sort of sit back. It's not about striving. It's not about pushing too hard. It's about celebrating the wins that you've already achieved, right? And being grateful for the things that you already have in your life and, taking the time to rest. This is definitely a time where you want to fill your time with the things that bring you joy. A lot of times especially 4s, when we achieve something, we're like, okay, yay, we've reached this goal. Now next, what's next? On to the next one, right? So this is constant striving, constant action. And we sometimes forget to take the break, to take that time for rest and rejuvenation and relaxation and to just enjoy the journey. And the 33 brings in the opportunity for that. There's definitely an opportunity for a clean slate at this time, a new beginning, a fresh start, but things are closing out. So it's not necessarily like this is the time to initiate. This is the time to, again, celebrate all that you have achieved up to this point and take that opportunity to pause. Because it's within that pause that you're going to gain the most clarity for what's next. And the greatest inspiration will come during that pause so that, again, you can start to plan or start to, collaborate or brainstorm with others to decide how you'll achieve this next goal. But this isn't an energy that says, let's get started, let's push really hard, let's all the things. This is a time for celebrating what you have achieved. And getting comfortable in the uncomfortableness of that downtime where, maybe there's not a lot of deadlines or there's not a lot pulling you in one direction at this time. Now, if there is, then it's going to be your responsibility to schedule in that time for rest and relaxation and rejuvenation because extremes of anything become toxic very, very quickly. And if you're in that overworking, workaholic type of energy, you're going to burn out from that. So use this 33 energy to reconnect to the things that bring you joy, to celebrate your successes, to spend time with family and find that greater balance in your home life, to bring in some romance to your life. And if you're not partnered up, then bring that romance in for yourself, right? Let life romance you. This is a beautiful energy, though, and is a beautiful time for social events and connecting with others and collaborating and sharing ideas and just being creating for the sake of creating, not necessarily for some kind of grand outcome. This is not a time where you're looking to the deadline, right? Or to the destination. You're just enjoying, you're very present with this energy and you're enjoying the moment. And that can really fill your cup up so that you're ready when it's time to go again. And that time will come soon enough. So I hope it's a great one. Take this time to enjoy. If you can travel now, travel. If you can, just socialize and have fun, do that. Make that a priority during this full moon. Life path number 5, you all are going to be working with a vibration of the 31-4. And so this brings in a time where you're being asked to focus, to stop procrastinating, to get organized. This is a great time to organize any area of your life that's felt kind of, disheveled, or like you can't concentrate, or that there's just a lot of that kind of just a lot going on. This is a time to, make your lists, get organized, create a plan. And if there's some area of your life that you've been procrastinating, this is the time you want to commit and make it happen, right? So get focused. This is also a time where you can accomplish a lot if you can find a way to direct your energy and not, give up too quickly if you don't see it come to fruition quick enough. This is a time where you want to see it through to completion, whatever it is that you commit to. And it could take some time to see that completion point, right? To reach that destination. And this energy says, keep going. This is going to bring about your creativity, your ingenuity in order to achieve whatever this is. So if it's a creative project, then you have the potential to be quite successful in whatever this is once you get to that completion point, which again could take some time because it's 4 energy and there is no instant gratification. But this energy is helping you to get focused and to see it through to completion so that you can reap those rewards. Same thing if it's a relationship. Your commitment or your focus might be required at this time in order to see the results that you're hoping to see in that commitment, in that connection. And this is that kind of energy that promises that you will get out of it what you put into it. So if you give in too quickly, if you give up too quickly, then you're not going to reap the rewards that, you deserve from the connection or from the project or whatever it is, right? So it's kind of that energy that just helps you to focus your energy into whatever this is to see the results you truly want to see. The effort and the commitment that you dedicate yourself to fulfill now, and invest your energy and your time into now has the potential to bring in a lot of positive results and new opportunities that can bring tremendous change into your life when it comes to your business or your relationships or any other area of life that this is coming in for you. But it's going to require you to commit, dedicate yourself, and persevere through whatever this is to get to the results. And they'll come. It's just going to take a little bit of work. Life path number 6, you all are going to be working with the beautiful vibration of the 32-5 for this illumination. This energy will likely bring in some kind of change and shift, whether it's with your perspective or your circumstances, but it's a good feeling. Like it's something where it's like that shift is needed. There's relief from it. It's kind of like you've been doing the work, you've been putting in the effort, and now you're receiving the rewards or the accolades or the recognition. And there's some kind of shift in you. There's some kind of transition point. But it's coming from a place that feels good for you, or it likely will be. This is a very benefic, very supportive type of energy that is kind of showing you or reminding you that when you put your talents out there, when you invest your time and energy into something, when you persevere, you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. And you might have to obviously work with others to make that happen. You might have to be vulnerable. There's so many things that can go into it. But you are capable of making it happen, whatever it may be. It's going to take work and dedication and all the things, and you're going to have to overcome the challenges and the obstacles and all the things. But at some point, you're going to reach that completion point and reap the rewards. You're going to hit that summit, and you're going to see, it was worth it for the view that you have. So it's that kind of energy. And this point, again, where it's sort of a completion point. Again, you've achieved what it is you've been looking to achieve. It might not feel as big as you had thought it was going to feel, but it's still, there's a completion point here. And it's through that completion point that, again, you have an opportunity to see what you are capable of, because you've just done it, right? You've done what you put your mind to, what you set out to do. You made it happen, and it was probably difficult, and there was lots of challenges along the way, but you were able to make it happen. So this energy not only brings in those rewards and those accolades and that satisfaction, but it gives you an opportunity to remember how powerful you are, how much potential you have, what you're capable of doing when you set your mind to it. And you can use that. You can use that fire. You can use that energy when it comes to setting the next goal, when it comes to, moving towards your next big dream or your next big whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. So it can bring in that shift or that change really sort of internally, where maybe if you were lacking confidence, or if you were feeling frustrated or had some self-doubt, this is such a beautiful time for you to really stop and reflect on how far you've come in some area of your life or many areas of your life, so that you can remind yourself that you are so capable of doing whatever you set your mind to. It's not about proving it to anyone else. It's about proving it to yourself. And this energy of the 32-5 reminds you that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, and you can achieve whatever you set your mind out to achieve. You might have to work with others, and you likely will have to work with others to make it happen, but you can make it happen. Beautiful energy here. I hope it's a great one. Take care, sixes. Bye for now. Life path number 7, you all are going to be working with the master number 33-6 for this illumination. This is a beautiful energy. Now, at the core of this energy is the vibration of unconditional love. And so when we move through a cycle of the 33-6, it pushes us to take action in ways where we can embody that vibration. And it's not an easy thing to do, because a lot of times it will bring up challenges for us to overcome that have to do with forgiveness, for compassion and empathy in places or in situations that might be difficult to show up in that way, right? And so it can be a testing energy there, but it's giving us the opportunity to step into that vibration and then take action from that vibration. So, this would be a time where maybe you have to come together with people that you don't see eye to eye with, or you have different values, or, they do things differently than the way that you would do them. Or maybe you're connecting with people who have hurt you in the past. Or maybe you're just thinking about those people a lot. So energetically, they're coming into your sort of field of vision. And so this is a great time to really do some greater self-reflection, to really come back to self, and to discover what it is that you need in order to be able to show up in the vibration of unconditional love. And there's, we all talk about unconditional love, it's out in this, in the spiritual spheres of self-help and all of that. But when it really truly comes to stepping into that vibration and taking action from that vibration, it's a whole nother ball game. It's one thing to talk about it ad nauseum, but it's another thing to step into that vibration and then move with that energy. And you're doing it because you don't need the recognition. You don't need to talk about it. You are the embodiment of it, and your actions reflect that. And so how you treat yourself is reflected in how you treat another. And so this can also be about, coming back into a greater vibration with you, a greater sense of self and a greater sense of self-love. Because when we love ourselves truly, without conditions and expectations and all of those things, or without vendettas or any of those things, then we can truly show up in that way towards others. But if we treat others, or ourselves in a negative way, or again, with vindictiveness or resentment or whatever, then we're not in that vibration. And the 33-6 will bring the challenges that will help us to see where it is that we're not in that vibration, even if we think we are. And it'll give us an opportunity to step fully into it. And once we step fully into it, it's hard to not recognize when we're not in it. So it's a really beautiful energy, but it's a master number for a reason. And the challenges that it brings in can be challenging at times, but it's helping to show you something and to gain greater wisdom in that area. So this could be a beautiful time to shift gears when it comes to how you treat yourself or how you treat others. Where is it that you're showing up with conditions or expectations that you can't meet and others can't meet? And so, just a reframing might be needed at this time. This is a beautiful energy to pay it forward. This is not about you with this energy necessarily. This is about helping others, showing up for others, being supportive of others. It's a 6 energy. So it's about, that nurturing caregiver, not sacrificing yourself in order to do so, but finding ways to not be so focused on your own problems, but helping others to alleviate their problems. And in that process, you'll likely come up with a solution for your own problem. So this is a time for looking outward, for volunteering, for giving of your time and your energy, for truly being love in action and not just talking about it. And the 33-6 will sort of hold your feet to the fire to make sure that you do. So I hope it's a good one. This is a big energy to work with, and it's coming in for a reason. So hopefully it treats you well. Take care. Bye for now. Life path number 8, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 34-7. This can feel like a really, things are picking up, like you're getting the green light. When you're driving on the road and it's all green lights and it's such a good feeling. That's sort of the energy that's coming in for you around this illumination. It's sort of, things are picking up. Yes, you're getting the yeses, you're getting the green lights. You're getting momentum in some area of your life. And it's likely somewhere that you have been putting in a tremendous amount of effort or have had to really dedicate yourself to whatever this is or persevere in this area. And I feel like with this full moon, you're starting to see those results. You're starting to see things pick up, which can feel really, really good. So you could be getting, asking for that assistance or that loan or whatever it is and getting the green light. And then that kind of creates the domino effect to see the results that you've been working so hard to achieve. So with that being said, this is a time to ask for what you need, for being vulnerable where you need to be vulnerable, for asking for help where you need to. But this is a period where it's almost like, especially if there's some area of your life where you were looking, you were working so hard towards it and you were so close to giving up. This is a time where you could see the wind come back in your sails, that hope is renewed, right? And you could even see some rapid advancement in whatever area this is toward your goals. So again, it can just reignite that inspiration and bring that hope back to the situation, whatever it might have been. I would say don't be overly impulsive at this time, especially when it comes to really anything. This is something where it's going to need, you're going to feel that energy of things picking up. And so it would be really easy to kind of get, swept up in that energy and wanting to just be really impulsive and say yes to whatever opportunity presents and not really do your due diligence. And I would say this is a time where You want to make sure you're doing your due diligence. You're taking your time. You're thinking about it before you sign your name to the dotted line, before you invest in something or commit to something. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying take your time before you say yes to it. Just think about it. You don't have to take a tremendous amount of time, but take enough time to where you feel confident that if things don't work out the way that you hope they do, you're going to be okay. Like you've got, you've given it enough thought, if that makes sense. This can definitely be a very rewarding period, a very fast-paced period. So just don't be too hasty. Just keep your head about you, stay grounded as much as possible, and take your time. And I think you're going to really enjoy what presents at this time. And it might not be right at this full moon, but I think you can start to see like, wow, things are really like starting to move now. I'm starting to see how this could actually happen. The people, places, things might present at this time that really start to help you to gain that momentum. So yeah, and really can propel you forward in a lot of ways. So, and that can of course bring the confidence and all the things that you might have needed to keep going in whatever this is. In addition to not being too hasty, I would also say be careful about being jealous or, just being petty and starting arguments where there really doesn't need to be an argument, right? Be careful about pride during this time as well. Just kind of go with the flow as best as possible. Keep your wits about you. Use good judgment. Take your time. And I think you're really going to be pleased with what transpires from whatever's initiated or comes to completion around this full moon. Yeah, big energy. Hope it's a great one. Take care, 8s. Life path number 9, you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 35-8 for this full moon. So you've got money on the mind. You could definitely see some things come in around career or money. This could be an increase in salary. This could be a job advancement or some kind of promotion. Maybe you're opening your own business. Maybe you are, who knows? But there's likely to be a lot more responsibility coming your way if you choose to take it on. And if you're someone who doesn't work or doesn't have to work, or maybe you're retired or something like that, it could be an increase in responsibility. So maybe you're volunteering, or maybe you want to start volunteering, something along those lines. But there's definitely this like push towards more responsibility, more commitment, something along those lines. And it's something where, you have the potential to reap some tremendous rewards from whatever this is, but it is going to require you to figure out how to take it on without overburdening yourself and without overcommitting. So you just want to make sure that what you're saying yes to at this time is what makes sense for you to say yes to, right? You're not just doing it out of feeling obligated or sort of just seeing those dollar signs. Come back to your why and just make sure that whatever you're saying yes to at this time or committing yourself to makes sense and feels right and feels good for you. Because this is definitely an energy where sort of anything can happen. So you just want to be prepared to, be able to kind of roll with the punches a little bit. And they don't necessarily have to be punches. They can be great opportunities as well. But you just want to make sure that you're not biting off more than you can chew. And take your time when it comes here. And I would also say be mindful of things that look too good to be true. Like, don't be too impulsive during this time and saying yes to the first thing that presents. Take your time, do your due diligence. You just want to make sure that you're not getting caught up in something that, again, just looks too good to be true, like getting rich quick type of schemes. Because that can obviously have backlash to it. The other thing is you might be feeling like you need stronger independence at this time. You want to, take the lead in some area of your life. You want that independence. And so that you can kind of feel like you want to break free from certain situations or relationships that might be making you feel a little claustrophobic or kind of penned in. And again, you don't want to be too impulsive or too forceful in these situations. Just make sure that, you're doing your due diligence, having those moments for reflection and taking your time with whatever this may be. even if it's something you feel you need to break away from, just make sure that you're not being too impulsive with that, so you're not setting yourself up for regret down the road. The other thing I would say is don't let your overconfidence at this time take the lead and kind of take you down a road, again, of taking on too much that makes you sort of uncomfortable, or that can set you up to, again, have that resentment or regret down the road. You are in control of your own destiny. So, if an opportunity comes your way and it feels good and you have the time and the space and the capacity to be able to do it, then say yes, right? But this is a time where you could have a lot coming in your way and a lot coming onto your plate. Just remember, you get to choose how you engage and what you choose to say yes to and how you participate. And that will keep you from sort of overpowering your own personal nervous system, and kind of can keep everything in check. So yeah, I would say manage your desire for expansion and growth and success and all those things with sort of managing that, right? Taking the middle road and taking on things more slowly and making sure that what you're taking on feels good to be taking on, if that makes sense. But definitely a fast moving energy here, a lot of potential opportunities coming your way. Just take your time in choosing what you say yes to. Life Path 11-2, you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 37-1. This is interesting energy because, of course, it's one energy. And usually when we have one energy, it's about taking action and being motivated and being ambitious and all the things, right? Taking some kind of initiative, a new start, something like that. But this is a slower energy. This is a lot softer. This is more calm. It's more of a calming energy, can bring in a lot of, feelings of contentment, like taking some time to sort of evaluate where you're at on your journey in this present moment and recognizing, one, how far you've come, but also, that you have everything that you need in this moment, right? Like, yes, you might be striving towards something or have goals that you want to achieve, etc. But in this moment, it's kind of about looking at what is working, what you have, what you don't need, and kind of putting your energy and your focus there and allowing yourself some time and space to just kind of be. 11-2s go through a lot of I want to say lulls, right? Where there's these periods of action, of course, right? Where you feel inspired and you're motivated and you're going. But then there's often these periods of I don't want to say void, but the lull, right? And those lulls are needed because it gives you an opportunity to survey the landscape, to decide, what are you happy with? What's good? What's working? What's, going well for you? And what do you want to not only maintain, but maybe build upon? And it can also show you what's not working and what takes your inspiration away and what you need to release. And so, and if you're not feeling inspired by anything at this moment, it gives you an opportunity to be curious and to explore and to play and to try new things and to, invite your imagination into the conversation to, again, be a little unconventional and explore. And so it's interesting because the 37-1 is such a beautiful cycle for that. It's this time where it's encouraging you to get out and to meet people and to share ideas and to brainstorm and, again, to try new things, to try things you haven't tried before, to go deeper and to maybe discover things about yourself that you didn't even know were a part of who you are. Maybe it's greater gifts that you'll unlock around this time. Maybe it's, again, a new hobby or a new desire that you'll unlock at this time. Or maybe there'll be some greater inspiration that comes in for you now. So the 1 comes into play here where it's bringing you back to you. It's kind of this opportunity to explore what it is that you want without forcing it, without, kind of manufacturing it. It's this opportunity for play and exploration with other people, right? To again, collaborate, brainstorm, or take a class or something like that. And you never know who you'll meet in that class or what will be ignited within you type of thing. And it's bringing you, again, back to you to discover something about yourself that maybe you hadn't discovered before. In that process, if we're not forcing and if we're not striving and all those things, and if we're comfortable in the uncomfortableness of the lull, instead of feeling lost, we can see it as an opportunity for a great adventure. And again, getting outside of our comfort zone and trying something new. So there's a lot of calm and contentment that can happen in these lulls that can come in from time to time. And who you meet and what you discover about yourself can be so profound and so beautiful. So yeah, pay attention to what you're drawn to at this time. Pay attention to what you try and it ignites a spark within you because there's something there that you can build upon later. So use this time wisely because, it does come in often for the 11-2s, but not often enough. And so instead of trying to kind of push through it and fill that void, just let it happen organically. Let it happen very naturally and enjoy the process of it all. So it's a really beautiful energy here. Hope it's a great one. Great opportunity to be incredibly creative if you choose to be, and not for any sake other than just for being creative and enjoying that process and what it has the potential to open up for you. Hope it's a great one. Take care, 11s. Bye for now. Life Path 22-4. So we're going to be working with the vibration of the 48-3. And this is an interesting energy because it brings in the opportunity for celebration, the opportunity to sort of celebrate how far we've come and what we've achieved. But it's also interesting because, and I think this is interesting that the 22-4 is moving through this, because the 22-4 tends to be that workaholic, right? The one who's always striving and pushing and moving towards the goal or the solution or whatever it may be. And it's kind of like this always, even if you're not in action, your mind's in action, kind of, scheming and coming up with a plan of how you'll achieve the next goal. So it's kind of like this constant momentum. And the 48-3 brings in the opportunity to hit the pause button and to slow down and to truly sink into the opportunity to celebrate what you have achieved and not necessarily jump to the next thing automatically, because that's not healthy, right? Any extreme is toxic and can turn toxic. And so if you're constantly in this go, go, go work mode or achievement mode or hitting your goals mode, you're going to burn out from that. And that's definitely something that 4s and 22-4s struggle with, is that burnout, or again, feeling like what they've achieved isn't enough or didn't hit the mark or isn't worth celebrating. And the 48-3 comes in to say, what you have achieved is good enough. It's worth celebrating. It's worthy. Don't be so focused on what didn't work out or what didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, or it wasn't big enough, or it didn't sell enough, or whatever it might be. There's a tendency with 22-4s especially to, instead of focusing on what is working and what did work, we tend to focus on like what didn't work and why didn't it work, and how could I have done better? And it comes back to that whole perfectionist energy that 22-4s and 4s struggle with. So the 48-3 is saying, take this time to pause. Take this time to look at, again, how far you've come, what you've overcome, what you've achieved, what is working, where, and whatever is working, that's what you want to build upon. That's where you want to put your energy. What's not working, if you put your energy there, it's only going to lead to frustration. And that is the Achilles heel of the 22-4 and 4. So you don't want to put all your energy there. You don't really want to put any of your energy there. You want to shift into gear wherever it is that is working. In that whole idea, you have to take time to celebrate the wins and not get too focused on like, well, it's not a big enough win to celebrate, or it didn't work out the way I wanted, so I don't deserve to celebrate, or whatever. This energy is saying, celebrate the wins, even the little wins. Celebrate what's working. Take the time, because that's going to give you the energy and the stamina to be able to get up and go when the time comes to get up and go again and work towards that goal. So definitely use this time, 22/4s, for some rest, for some relaxation, for celebrating you and your accomplishments and how far you've come. And to celebrate, again, what is working in this moment. Because there's always something that's working, even if there's plenty that's not working. There's something that's working. And this energy asks you to put your energy there, because that's where you're going to feel the most rewarded and the most fulfilled, not in putting your energy where it's not working. That's just going to lead to frustration. And interestingly enough, when you put your energy towards what is working and you start to build there, or you celebrate that and you're grateful for that, you start to see the answers come in for what wasn't working. And you can find some momentum there as well. So ultimately, this is an opportunity, 22/4s, to rest, to celebrate you and your accomplishments and how far you've come. And just take a pause before you jump to the next thing. Your body will thank you. Life Path 33/6, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 59/5 for this illumination. And the first thing that kind of comes in around this is to be really careful about pride and sort of that energy of like needing to win at all costs, whether it's with a debate or an argument or in some kind of whatever it is, however it shows up in your life. There's this energy of again, kind of like needing to be right or needing to succeed or, whatever, and needing to do whatever is necessary in order to succeed or to be right or whatever. And there's this opportunity with this energy to change the framework a little bit. And it kind of comes back to, I can't remember who's quoted as saying it, but it's that energy of like, does your need to be right overpower your need to be kind? Something along those lines. I can't remember the exact wording, but and so this is a great opportunity for that. And this could come in with, again, relationships or career or colleagues or whatever, or even like a creative project or something like that, where you're almost like willing to do whatever it takes to achieve whatever this is, even if it means stepping on other people to get there. And though that doesn't sound like a 33/6 trait, there's definitely the aspect of the 33/6 of the ego, right? And having to kind of overcome the ego and put the ego in the passenger seat, etc. as you move in your journey of stepping into the 33/6. So as you move through that journey, there are definitely opportunities that you'll have to recognize where it is that you are, needing to be right, and that's overpowering everything else. And so even the need for perfectionism or people pleasing, right? Like this is an opportunity to kind of reflect upon where it is that, you might need to do some reframing. And why is it so important for you to be right or to achieve whatever this is or to be successful in this area? And what does success mean to you? And blah, blah, blah. That can all kind of come up for review under this full moon. And, it might kind of take it might be a little humbling. Let's put it that way. But of course, it's what you choose to do with it that makes the difference. But this is a great opportunity to recognize where you might have been doing that and not even recognizing it, right? Where again, maybe you're a sore loser or maybe you're overly competitive or something like that. And so just a good opportunity for you to recognize where that might be overpowering, or might be feeding into your need of control at times, even though your intentions might be good. But I would say with this energy, it's not the best time to take like high risks, right? If there's something with high stakes, taking a risk where there's high stakes could bring in some buyer's remorse once this energy subsides. So I would say, take your time. Don't be overly impulsive. Make an effort to think things through before saying yes or committing to it or taking action, because that impulsivity can kind of lead to accidents or injury, or again, committing to something that you might have buyer's remorse to later on. This is a good time for travel, for whether it's for work or for enjoyment. The people that you meet at this time could bring in opportunities for some kind of change, or new opportunity could come in as well. You could see some excitement, some movement in your life in areas that maybe have felt a little bit stagnant or a little frustrating at times. You could meet someone at this time. Romance is on the cards for you all if you choose that, especially like meeting someone through travel or something like that, or in some exotic place. Now, a lot of times when you meet someone in a 5 cycle, especially with strong 5 energy, it's not necessarily a relationship that will last long term, but what it can bring into your life can be life changing. It can be very transformative. And it might be someone who's different or unique in some way, or definitely outside of the scope of who you would normally date. Could definitely come in at this time. And same thing with like friends. It could be you meet someone at this time who might not be in your life long term, but can definitely bring some spice into your life. And it can be a lot of fun. So yeah, I would just say, just be careful about going to extremes during this time and being too impulsive or being too restrictive as well. Like if you're overly restrictive with yourself at this time, you could miss out on some great opportunities and some great connections that could definitely, like I said, be life-changing. So big energy here. Just remember this is a time to say yes and to experience life with all your senses without taking it to the extreme. So can be a lot of fun. Yeah. Moderation is key. Let's put it that way. All right. I hope it's a great one. Take care, 33s. Life Path 44-8. So you all are going to be working with the vibration of the 77. So 707. Anytime we move through a 7 cycle, it's an opportunity for greater exploration. So this is heavy on the 7. And so it's bringing the energy back to you. Like this is a time to not force things, to not push through things. This is a time to be more receptive. So in other words, you've created your web. Now you're kind of sitting back a little bit and seeing what presents to you, like what comes to you. And then whatever presents to you at this time, you get to decide how you work with it, or what you say yes to and what you say no to. And that should be a process of first that greater kind of reflection, or sort of self-reflection, right? Where you're going within and you're really feeling into, whether this feels right for you, or whether this is something that you want to commit to or invest your energy into or say yes to. There shouldn't be a lot of impulsivity with this energy. It should be you taking your time to make sure that where you invest your energy, how you engage, feels good for you, feels right for you, and feels aligned for you. This is a time where you've got also the vibration of the 0. So there's some kind of clean slate here. There's a new beginning being offered up to you. And this is where I say, don't rush into anything during this time. Don't force it, but feel into it, right? And not only that, be very conscious about the information that's being presented to you. There's a very logical side to the 7, but there's also a very spiritual side to the 7. It's the merging between the seen and the unseen. And so during this cycle, be very present with the facts that are being presented, the information that's being presented. You don't want to go off from the stories that are in your head, or you don't want to be so committed to the stories that you've created around a situation that you're missing the reality of the situation, right? And so pay attention to what comes in for you. Pay attention to the opportunities that come in for you. There's a tremendous amount of healing possible at this time, right? A lot of self-regulation, a lot of opportunities for coming back to your why, and truly digging deeper into that to make sure that that why is authentic for you, and it's not built on stories that, have no weight to them and aren't sort of grounded in reality. So this is a time to ask the bigger questions. what is it that you want? What direction do you want to be moving in? Who do you want to connect with? What feels good for you? All of the things. This is such a profound period for that self-discovery about the truth of who you are and trusting that, right? And so this is, again, a time to ask those bigger questions and be open to the answers that present. Again, this is a time where you could see a lot of inspiration come in, a lot of new ideas, a lot of people, places, things that can help you to build on that, whatever that might be. But first, you've got to come back to you and face that truth of you, right? Whether it's the higher octaves of you, but also the shadow sides of yourself. Go deeper into your own psyche to determine what it is that you want and what steps you'll have to take in order to achieve that. Very profound period, but because you also have that 0 there, this is a new beginning. This is an opportunity. It's kind of like you're in the holding space before the new beginning begins. And before you begin that new beginning, you want to make sure that it feels right for you. You want to make sure that it's coming from a place of your truth, your inner knowing. And you can only do that by, again, coming back to self and asking yourself the big questions, and then being open to and trusting the answers that present. So great time for journaling, great time for healing work, working with a therapist or a shaman or a numerologist, to get your ducks in a row, to figure out, again, what it is that you want, and then what you'll need to do in order to move in that direction. You could definitely open up to some of your greater gifts at this time. It's just a beautiful time to reconnect with self before you start this new adventure, whatever it might be. And you might not even know what this new adventure is, or that there's a new adventure coming, but this 0 energy promises a new adventure, and you're going to be the artist that gets to decide what you're going to paint and what it's going to look like. But first, you got to come back to you and figure out what that is. So really beautiful energy here, really beautiful. An opportunity to go really deep without fighting it, without feeling, without getting thrown into victim mode, but really going deep into coming back to yourself. Yeah. And getting to know you, who you are now, right? As we evolve, we change. And so, yeah, great energy here. So hope it's a great one. Take care. Bye for now.